I'm Mitch for Book Monster. So it's the first day of fall, officially fall 2024 season. So I said I was gonna do some Halloween content. Um, so even though it's a few days early, like 9, 10 days before October 1st, sorry my voice is cracking. It has been for 2, 3 days now, so uh, not much or anything I can do or anybody can do. So drawn. Anyway, um, the first video I want to do for Halloween 2024 season, like I said, it's pretty much exactly a month, give or take, from Halloween, little over a month from Halloween Day, October 31st, of course, is Halloween, but since it is the first official day of fall or autumn, however you want to look at it, on the calendar, just go ahead and start the Halloween spooky content. So this video will be my favorite and least favorite Halloween thriller, psycho, I mean, not psycho, psychological, uh, thriller type movies. Uh, Anything in that category, in those categories, psychological thriller, or that's kind of a broad generalization, but if it fits in those categories, it's fine. So I will try to list more or less 10 movies in all. I try to do 5 in the top favorite and 5 in the top uh, least favorite or worst, however you want to look at that. In my opinion, at least, you may like some of my least favorite, you may not like uh, some of my favorite or any of them. You might disagree with all of them in each category, and that's fine. It's subjective, so uh, without any more wasting time, I'll go ahead with it. The 5 best movies are, and by the way, this is not ranked from 1 to 5 or 5 to 1, one in each category. It's just 5 in each category. No ranking, worst to best, best to worst, or any of that, because it would take too much brain power for me to try and do any of that. Um, Anyway, stop wasting time, right? So five of my favorite are Nightmare on Elm Street, and I chose to mention that one first today because you cannot tell, although you can tell I have a black t-shirt on, but the design is of or inspired by Nightmare on Elm Street and Freddy Krueger's glove. So, Nightmare on Elm Street, um, pretty much the first one in the franchise series. Um, it might get they vary from movie to movie. It's a little long in the tooth, as they may say. There's what 8 Freddy movies, maybe 7 solo Freddy Krueger movies, and then the 8th one is FVJ or Freddy vs. Jason. That came out in 2003 or 4. That one, as a movie by itself, is okay, although fans of both franchises, one side or the other, it had wanted that for years, and what they delivered us in the early 2000s is, like I said, okay. Could have been better, could have been worse, also right. So we got what we got. Um, so the next movie for the favorite category would fall as or be Scream, the original Scream from 1995 or 6. Ironically directed by Wes Craven, same director from the previously mentioned Nightmare on Elm Street. So Wes Craven pretty much had a renaissance with Scream in the mid 1990s because he like I said directed the at least the original, if not the first 2 Nightmare on Elm Street movies at least. Um, I know for sure Scream was directed by Wes Craven, as mentioned. Maybe one other Scream movie, maybe 2 or 4, maybe. I don't think he had a hand in 3, and if you're a horror movie aficionado, let's say, you may already know that Wes Craven passed away. I don't know how many years ago at this point. Maybe in 2010, 2012, maybe sooner or later than that. But he is no longer with us. So one of the greater horror movie director in general. All I have to say is rest in peace, Mr. Craven. Thank you for your contribution to the horror genre and film industry altogether. Um, Moving on now. So, um, the third movie in my favorite category is Silence of the Lambs. Like I said, that is not horror per se, but it's a thriller, psychological thriller. Um, so it counts. Of course, um, you have Jodie Foster as Clarice Starling in that movie, and the great Anthony Hopkins, or Sir Anthony Hopkins, as Hannibal the Cannibal Lecter in that movie, and a couple of other big name actors. I almost said authors, but actors from that time that might have been or would have been popular or well known, especially within the early 90s, late 80s, maybe. So, um, Anthony Hopkins, Jodie Foster, Silence of the Lambs is my overall third favorite movie in the list here. Number four would have to be, I'm sorry, I do have, um, I don't have these movies written down. I, I thought about them for a couple of days, so I would hopefully have them in my mind pretty well placed, but I I'm still having to think kind of on my feet as of recording. So anyway, my next movie thriller horror would be I Know What You Did Last Summer, another movie or story in the vein of Scream from Wes Craven I mentioned earlier. Um, yes, in the early to mid '90s and throughout the '90s, the slasher genre of horror movies kind or not kind of, but got a reprieve or um, refresh, or however you want to put it, from Mr. Craven um, releasing Scream. If it wasn't for Scream, in my opinion, I don't know if the slasher genre would have been as big or well known in the 1990s. It may have faded with the decade prior, with the 80s of other movies I don't want to mention here right now because they may be on the list later. So anyway, but yeah. So I know what you did last summer. And my last favorite horror I'm sorry, my last favorite horror movie would be um I know I listed a lot of 90s or all of 90s, maybe one 80s movie, mid to late 80s movie. That's because I was a late 80s, mid to late 80s, 90s child. So, but my last pick for favorite would be a movie that's before my time, honestly, more in the vein of my parents' time, is Alfred Hitchcock's Psycho. And this movie's kind of strange for me to mention because um, if you know me at all, if there's anybody out there watching this video that knows me, I got the reputation as growing up not liking black and white TV shows, and to be fair to that accusation, I really didn't. Um, I still don't care for it uh, because by the time I came along growing up, everything was in color. All the new shows on TV were colorized. Probably at least 10 to 15 years by the time I was growing up watching TV. And going back and seeing things in black and white versus knowing the shows I'm accustomed to watching or in color and everything in black and white is this gray toned, you know, no vibrancy at all. Um, so yeah, Psycho um, would probably be my uh, last favorite pick on this list, which is ironic. I never really thought of Psycho all that much until I heard Mike from Mike's reviews, Mike's book and media reviews. He has two different channels. I didn't think of or hadn't thought of that movie in a little bit of time until I was watching his weekly update this morning or earlier today. And he was talking about uh, showing his older son Psycho um, this weekend. So, yeah, that's, like I said, for the majority of this list, I gave it some consideration for 2 or 3 days now. But that one, if it wasn't for Mike, for Mike's book reviews, mentioning it in his video he released today, I don't know, it probably wouldn't be on this list. But he's right, it is an awesome movie, and if the awesome part about it isn't until the very end the reveal of the killer. Um, if you know, you know. If not, watch it and don't let it be spoiled for you if you can help it. Either way, if you know the twist ending, it's still a good movie and that much better if you go into it somehow not knowing who the killer is. So my least favorite or the worst movies of the bunch. I have to start out this list with an obvious pick for me. And again, like the black and white thing, the black and white TV movies versus color. If you know me, you obviously know this pick for my least favorite, and that is Child's Play slash Chucky. I just, excuse me, don't care for that movie series or character at all. And like the black and white thing, it's more of a personal thing, much more of a personal thing than the black and white versus color. If anybody out there in my age range can remember a line of dolls or stuffed animals, however you want to phrase that, for the boys, it was My Buddy. And for the girls, it was Kid Sister. Obviously, I had a My Buddy doll. So, and I took that everywhere. I slept with it. I went to grandparents' house with it. I went to sleepaway camp with it. So yeah, personally, Chucky just reminds me of my buddy doll growing up. Basically, to me, instead of a fictional good guy doll running around, it's my buddy doll going around. I know it sounds strange, odd to say the least, but that's what it is. That's just my psyche, kicking in. So anyway, enough on that topic. Um, my next pick for my least favorite movie is um might be controversial because I just mentioned maybe not this movie or series of movies earlier, but um kind of the main character of the majority of the series, and that would be Friday the 13th. Pretty much the first Friday the 13th is alright, it's okay. Um, the reveal of that killer is understandable. Uh, like I said with Psycho a bit ago, you don't know the reveal of the killer in Friday the 13th, the original Friday the 13th from 1980 or 81, please do yourself a favor and go back and watch it. And watch Psycho. Watch them both. Do yourself that favor. But where they lost me is after um, after the killer is revealed for the original Friday the 13th. Um, the last, um, pretty much the last scene before the end credits roll, um, and then the continuation of the series because, honesty, how, just how. I'm trying not to give anything away, but that's my biggest gripe with it is how and why um, this should not be, this shouldn't, have happened. They shouldn't have continued. Just let it be one and done, and didn't tack, shouldn't have tacked anything on after the killer of the original is revealed. So, my next least favorite is going to be, is, a, a more recent pick. Um, Alien versus Predator. Now this is kind of sci-fi or hybrid, I guess, because Alien and Predator are two creatures that aren't human or of this world, of course, or essentially aliens from other planets, other universes, other galaxies. So, of course, like Freddy and Jason, people were clamoring to bring two 80s icons together in Alien and Predator franchises. So, like I said, with Freddy versus Jason, we got what we got for better or worse. But honestly, unlike Freddy and Jason, I think they should have just let that movie out giving us, quote unquote, giving us what we asked for. Because honestly, um, they tried with um, Alien versus Predator. Um, just Alien and Predator character are not of this world. Yeah, personally, thank you, but no thank you. And then, of course, they made a sequel, Alien versus Predator Requiem, and I don't know. I don't think they made a third or any more after um, Alien versus Predator Requiem or whatever the second one is titled. So, in my opinion, thankfully they didn't continue on. Again, I don't want anybody in an uproar saying I'm wrong or I don't know what I'm talking about. These are my picks. You can like them, not like them, have the same feelings as myself, or um, we're all here just stating our opinions, not that. So I'm not sure if that's 4 or 5 at this point with Alien versus Predator, but my last least favorite is going to be well, honestly, after Alien vs Predator, I'm sure there's more, but that's my list as it stands with me thinking about it. Do you agree with some of these picks in either category? Do you like or dislike in either category? Um, do you think maybe I should have ranked them, or anything. Like I said, as far as ranking them, it would have been a little more time consuming for me. That's why I just gave them 2 or 2 or 3 days thought. I'm sorry, I can't get my thoughts together to speak of thought. But, so, yeah, those are my favorite and least favorite horror thriller slasher movies. So have a good day. I think this will be video 19 on the channel, and the stats on the channel haven't changed much, if at all, since my previous video. I won't sit here at the end of every video and regurgitate stats all the time. I'm just doing it right now while the channel is relatively fresh. And just to let you know some of my progress on the channel so far. Thank you. Good day. Good night.